My sister-in-law wants to control my boyfriend's life.
The sister.
Don't let her do it. Also, trigger warning, mentions of abuse. So, my boyfriend, Mark, 24 male, is an amazing guy. He's kind, funny, and a great human. Recently, he got into a big fight with his older sister, Maggie, 37 female, which has affected the family dynamics to the point that every single member is involved, including me. By the way, this comes from Immediate Abroad 2405 on the r/2HotTakes subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, for context, I've been dating Mark for almost 4 years. His family includes his mom, Lisa, 59 female, his oldest sister, Maggie, 37 female, and his middle sister, Sarah, 34 female. This feels like the amount of characters that requires a whiteboard. Shall we get it out?
We shall get it out.
Let's get it out. Let's get it out because we got we got a whole cast of people right now. Yeah, oh my God, we're gonna get more, and hopefully not too much more. So we have a boyfriend, Mark, 24 male.
24. Okay.
We have his older sister, Maggie, 37 female, and then we have his mom, Lisa, 59 female, and then his middle sister, Sarah, 34 female, and that is it.
Hot take, just looking at the numbers right now. Maggie is actually his mom, right?
No way. No.
Wait, let me do the math
That's
here.
crazy.
I could be so
That's
wrong.
crazy.
Wait, 37 minus 24. Never mind. Not
That's,
the mom.
that's too crazy. All right. So his parents divorced when he was about 16 because his dad was a self-absorbed person, rude, a conspiracy theorist, and emotionally harmful to his mom and middle sister. His dad no longer lives with them since he moved overseas. This matters later on. So I only have close relationships with Lisa, Maggie, and Sarah. Lisa is the mom.
Yep, Lisa's mom. Maggie's the sister-in-law. Yep.
Yep. Well, Maggie is, I think, his sister.
Yes.
Just
His sister. Mark's sister, yes.
Yeah. So I consider them my family because they treat me with so much love and care. But now let me explain the fights. Around early January this year, I had a serious medical emergency with my kidneys. I was hospitalized for a few days and had to rest in bed and stay active for at least 3 months due to the stent inserted in my kidney and a heavy infection. Oh no. My doctor recommended lots of rest and not to stress much during this time as it could affect my overall health. This made me feel tired and upset most of the time as I'm a very active person. Mark has been my support, taking care of me and loving me through it all. Unfortunately, during this time, Mark was fired from his job because of some changes in his company. He works in sales. It's no big deal. We have savings, but I was still worried for us. I blame my anxiety for this. During this time, I helped him look for a new job, update his resume, and so on, upon him asking for my help. All right, sounds like they support each other. That's great.
Yeah.
At first, we only told Sarah, as she's the closest to both of us and we value her advice and thoughts. She wasn't worried about us because she knows we're responsible adults. However, during a call with Maggie, Mark told her that he had been fired and was actively seeking a new job.
Okay. And Maggie's going to take this all with good spirits and say, we understand. Right?
He also mentioned that he had a promising interview coming up and that he had sufficient savings to cover any upcoming expenses. So this is like the upcoming expenses for the kidney stuff. So it seems like they're going to be okay. That's when the whole fight started. Maggie took it upon herself to find Mark a job, which sounds okay. Maggie works for a big accounting firm, has a baby and a partner, not married. She lives in an expensive neighborhood, enjoys traveling at least 3 times a year, has expensive tastes and palate, and often tries to fix her family by imposing her standards on others and pushing them to make her lifestyle the norm, which is not a good idea if you can't afford that lifestyle.
Yeah, and plus if you get this job, you're going to be playing your ball field, so you have to stay within her standards too.
Oh, like you think she's going to leverage this job over him to be like, you are controlled by Maggie now.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what happens. So you can get the idea of the kind of person she is. Maggie frequently messaged Mark and me nearly every other day, sharing job openings at her current company and her partners, who also works in sales but in IT services, pushing him to apply for all of them. So far, though, it seems like she's like being like, yes, maybe overly pushy, but I feel like she's being nice so far.
It looks like it.
Yeah. Mark doesn't want to go back into sales because he wasn't happy doing that and wants to try something different like admin or management. Politely, but firmly, Mark responded to Maggie's messages saying, "No, thank you. I'm doing well at the moment and am not interested in sales anymore. My partner and I have discussed our goals and have a plan." Despite, well, yeah, quickly, sidebar, Riley. Do you think that's a good response? What do you think?
Seems like if a reasonable person got that message, they take it reasonably well. Seems like I don't need to impose anymore.
Yeah. I feel like that is a boundary where it's like, all right, I guess I don't need to engage.
Exactly.
To this degree
if you would be like, I don't need to engage. They got it, right?
Yeah. I think I would be a little bit bummed, like, oh, I was just trying to help.
Yeah.
But I would understand. I would understand.
Low key, I'd probably want Maggie's help on this, seeing her lifestyle. For lifestyle, her network is like she knows people with more money.
Yeah. And as you know, your network is your net worth.
Wait, what is that from?
That's from like Ty Lopez. Where it's like, you know what's better than these 2 Lamborghinis? Knowledge. Have you seen that video? It's like
no.
OG YouTube video.
I'm stuck on the DJ Khaled being like,
another one.
Like,
another one.
Yeah.
The keys, major key alert.
Bring me to ocean.
Despite Mark's clear response, Maggie persisted in sending him sales jobs and so-called admin positions. But once you look into the descriptions, they're clearly sales roles. Mark responded again, "I appreciate your concern and your help, but my partner and I have discussed our aspirations and goals, and we are all happy. I am not interested in a sales job." So then we have established the boundary again. While all this was happening, Mark was clearly frustrated with Maggie. She always tends to do this not only with him, but with Lisa and Sarah in different aspects of their lives. This made my anxiety and stress levels high. I trust my partner. Mark and I are on the same page regarding our household, jobs, and so on. We always have open conversations and never keep secrets. However, Maggie kept sending him job applications and reminding me that we can't afford to only have one of us working. Now this is where I got involved.
Oh, no.
OP's getting in the middle.
I do not recommend getting in between siblings interacting. I do not recommend it.
I feel like when you get involved in a family dynamic that you don't understand, it's just like the family dynamic precedes you by decades and decades. And so it can be a little rough. I understand if you're like maybe her partner and stuff, you want to help or whatever. Mark told me he'd gotten a management position at a company where he used to work. He knew the hiring manager and the team, so his transition to the role was going to be easy.
Nice.
The annual pay for the position he applied for increased, and he might get more due to his overall experience. Boom.
Yo.
That's great. I was so happy for him. We agreed that this job was the best for him now, and he was excited to start again with his old team. We told Lisa and Sarah. Lisa wasn't too happy about it, but she trusted Mark's decision. Sarah was also excited and supportive, so much so that she gave him some tips for managing his future team better. Maggie, on the other hand, said nothing. Silent Maggie.
Because you didn't play by the rules of Maggie's world.
Yeah, Maggie's world rules supreme. She'll kick you out.
One Maggie to rule them all.
One
Maggie
Maggie.
to save them.
One Maggie to bind them. On the same day, Maggie messaged me saying something like this. "Hey, OP, I hope you're feeling better with your kidney stuff. As you know, my partner and I are trying to find a job for Mark in one of our companies. We secured him an important interview for a tech sales job, but he won't take it because he mentioned he got another job. Can you please convince him not to take the job and to go to the interview and do well so he works in this company under my referral?" There is the issue. Under my referral. Did everyone catch that? She's trying to get that money so she can go on that 4th vacation or get that Louis Vuitton bag. She's trying to get the bag for the referral, because you usually get money for referring someone to a job for those corporate tech jobs.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like under my referral, like, oh, you're going to make me look good so I can advance. Not like
it's not all the time, but like for some like high paying tech jobs, if you refer someone, you could get up to like correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you could get up to like 6 figures for some like really high paying jobs.
What the heck?
Like up to, that's the upper end, but
dude,
that is ridiculous.
Well, there you go.
Maggie.
Because this job seems really good for him. I mean, if it was like, it just feels super easy for Mark to get into this job because it's someone he knows. He's getting a pay increase. He's got incentives lined up. And this other thing, I don't really know.
And also, he doesn't want to work a tech sales job anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell my mom to do this as well, so you're not alone, is what Maggie says.
Gosh.
I was a bit shocked since it seemed an odd thing to do. So I told her, "Hey, Maggie, I get you want the best for him, but he is not interested in that sort of job. We talked about it as a couple and agreed this is best for him and us as a household. I can have a conversation of potentially looking into going with this interview, but I'm not going to force him or crush his spirits regarding this job. He is an adult. He can make his own decisions. I feel like that was a nice response.
Yeah. Again, another nice, we got it.
Yeah. Casey Roberts says 6 figures is CEO level headhunter kickbacks, but yeah, it exists.
Okay.
Thank you, Casey Roberts. But it could go up to that. But
she's gonna get money out of this.
She's gonna get money. You know, it could be anything from a couple $100 all the way up to 6 figures, depending on the role.
And she doesn't even care if he's happy or not.
No, she's like, I just want that kickback. After that, I just turned my phone off, not wanting to deal with this as my kidney pain was getting worse. I just didn't have the energy to deal with it. The next day, she called me multiple times. Maggie, get a freaking clue.
Dude.
Get a grip, girl.
Get a grip, girl. Get that gorilla grip, girl. Sorry.
Pause.
Sorry.
Not that grip.
Not that grip. Not that grip. You know, Maggie's like a loose wizard sleeve with all of this complaining.
Lizard?
Wizard.
Wizard?
Wizard sleeve. Anyway. The next day, she called me multiple times. I didn't answer and texted me weird messages basically saying, listen, I get it, but both of you need to get real jobs. Starting with him, he is behaving like an ungrateful brat, and he has never bothered taking my advice. Not this time. He needs to grow up. He needs to get a real job. What type of partner are you that you are not looking for what is best for him?
What kind of sister are you not looking for what's making him happy and what's working for them?
Yeah. I was overwhelmed with these messages and persistent calls. Mark saw I was upset and I had to explain to him the messages and the whole missed calls in the last 24 hours. And Mark was angry about all of these. He messaged her again, this time quite blunt, something like, hey, Maggie. I love how they all start like, hey, Maggie.
Hope you're
but
doing
they're
well.
like, hey, Maggie. Brrr. You know, just getting angry.
Like
hey,
corporate emails.
Yeah. It's a corporate just anger masked in a couple.
Per
hey,
my
Maggie.
last email.
Yeah, for my last email, you dumb bee.
ChatGPT, make this make this a little nicer, but tell him to F off corporately.
Low key, we've worked with someone like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
Yes. But then it changed. I swear they started putting their emails through ChatGPT, make it sound more nice because it was not the same tone at all. But hey, Maggie, I'm going to tell you this one last time. I never asked for your help looking for a job. I appreciate it, but I never asked for your help. Stop pushing your agenda on me and stop involving OP on this. She is sick and needs to rest and doesn't need this. Again, thank you, but no thank you. Do we think Maggie is going to be cool, calm, collected, chill, no response, being like, oh, I sorry, I didn't get it. I should have been more conscientious of what you want in your household. I'll lay off. I'm sorry.
If your next vacation is like 3 to 4 phone calls away, would you make those 3 to 4 phone calls?
You're right. No. You never give up.
Who's
going to carry the boats and the logs?
Maggie is.
That's you, Maggie. If you guessed it, Maggie fired back. She called Mark an ungrateful brat who needs to grow up and get a real job. He doesn't have the skills for management and should stick to sales. And a real man takes care and loves family.
Oh, no. Not going for his manhood.
Not going. You're gripping his manhood and you're flushing it down the blender. You're blending his manhood.
Yeah.
We shouldn't do that. Manhood
Don't do it.
should only be blended in the worst of scenarios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The worst of the worst.
Yeah. Not in this.
Not in this.
Not over a job. Over some referral.
Yeah. Caitlin says, nah, she's losing that bag. She's going to be big mad.
Yeah.
Big mad. Katie Pilaten says, stand on business, Mark.
You have to. Because if
Dang
you start
straight.
poking at someone about their manhood, they're going to show you it. They're going to show you how big it is. Boom. Dent. That's what caused the tsunami the other day.
Yeah, dude. Riley got up a little bit too fast in the morning. To everyone who doesn't know, there was a big tsunami watch
Yeah.
on the Pacific West Coast, and a tsunami watch is different than a tsunami warning. Tsunami warning.
Oh, good.
Tsunami warning is like, oh shoot, you gotta be worried about tsunami. Tsunami watch is you could go down to the beach and just watch a tsunami because it's looking pretty cute. Looking pretty cute. The waves are looking nice.
On a dark note, I was talking to John about this, and I thought to myself, if a tsunami did hit here, who's gonna tell the homeless people, like on the coast?
I think there's like there's police that do it.
Okay.
I saw police going to fishermen in Hawaii. A video of it.
Oh, nice.
And the Hawaiian fishermen are like, dude, I don't care. I just caught this big marlin or whatever.
Check this out, man.
Check this out. You're telling me the fish are going to come to me?
Okay,
I'm
man.
standing right here.
Great.
On business.
So if
But you know
love
who
fish-
else
Oh, sorry.
stands on business? Mark. Because Mark freaking lost it. Mark is a chill guy, doesn't like conflict, but would absolutely smash you, wink, if you keep provoking him or his loved ones. Mark sent a nasty text to Maggie, which basically said something like this: I'm done with your butt. You don't seem to understand that I have my own life and I'm freaking adult, able to make his own decisions. I love my family, but you are making it hard. You are behaving so toxic and making everything about yourself. I never asked for your help. You are a full-on, self-absorbed person, a-hole, who would end up alone in life if you keep acting like this. You are growing to be like dad, with no one who loves you and forgotten by your own family. Oh, also, we're not done. Also, what the heck is wrong with you bothering OP while she is sick and dealing with her health? I'm no longer interested in being part of your life. If this is the way you keep treating me like crap, I won't accept anything from you unless it's a real apology from you. Boom. There's more to this story really quick, but
Sam,
oh,
do you remember what happened to the dad earlier in the story?
I kind of forgot what happened.
So he hasn't been around because he left the family to go to another country to talk about like conspiracy theories and stuff.
Is that, whoa.
So he actually like left, and he's throwing this in like Maggie's face. Marcus.
Yeah. He's like, Mark is throwing the family lore.
Yeah.
Being like, remember that guy? You're gonna be just like him, forgotten and living in another country. You're gonna
That's
be,
wild.
Gonna be the reverse of Mean Girls.
Mm.
You know, where she gets so unpopular that she has to move to Africa.
Yes, I see what you did there.
Yeah. You watch it backwards.
Yeah.
But
Hey, that's that. I think that's the lowest. you
is
could
this is this message to Maggie warranted? What do we think?
go. Okay? Remember, first they gave her a boundary.
Yep.
Gave her a boundary again.
Yep.
Hey, even OP stepped up and said, "Hey, we're good here." And then there were like 4 warnings.
There were 4
before
warnings.
this last one.
You know, I feel like when you're, I don't know if there needs to be like, I understand that there's emotion in this.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be teeth in terms of, but I don't need to think there needs to be emotion. Like,
Ooh.
I
Because there was some blood spilt on this one.
yeah, this is like I'm getting aggressive, which I totally understand being warranted because of how pushy Maggie has been.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if I'm looking at it like, what is the best way to approach it? It's like being a little bit less emotional and more like, hey, like if you saying the same thing, like if you keep acting this way, I'm gonna have to cut you out.
Yeah.
Because like this is not something I need in my life. So like I would phrase it a little less emotionally, but still have teeth to it. Still have like, these are going to be the consequences of these actions.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why, you know, the bear was poked and this is the reaction.
Yeah. I agree. I think I agree with the teeth part instead of the blood being spilled.
Wrestling Mama says, no, Sam. She kept poking the bear. And hey, I realize that. I think just at least for me, I would not react in this way. At least I would try not to react in this way. I would set a boundary that had teeth, like similar to what is said in this. But I don't think I would be as emotional. I'm curious, Sophia, what you would do.
Yeah, I think that.
Thank you for insightful commentary
Yes,
for Sophia. Thank you.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
yes.
Queen.
That's
I just missed a lot of the
ditto from Sophia. Ditto. And enough said. Nothing more needs to be said.
Maggie sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell her.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
But once he sent that message, Mark blocked Maggie right away so he wouldn't see her reply. By the way, you should never block us. You should listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update. But let's discuss. Yeah, what do we think? Is this the right move? Is this not the right move?
I mean, Like the phone lock analogy we always use. I think you warrant the message, block her, because she's gonna keep coming back. She wants that vacation. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think blocking her is good. And
I don't think I would block. I think I would say I think I would go low contact then
Okay.
block.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
petting my little mustache right here now.
Little mustache caterpillar.
Yeah, my little caterpillar on my lips.
Do you think she should tell the sister and
The other sister?
Because if he doesn't, guess who's gonna tell them that? 'Cause Maggie could definitely twist the story around. I think give him a heads up would be good.
Yeah, like do we need an Avengers assembly of these family members?
Well-
Like get Lisa involved, get Sarah involved.
No, not that. Just Mark would be like to the mom and sister. Hey, by the way, I talked to Maggie about this to let her know. Just want to let you know, not needing anything to going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're gonna go low contact or no contact, I think it
Yeah.
makes sense to let the family know. I think so. But I would love to know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments. But we're gonna get back into this story. So this was around March. They haven't even spoken since then. Whoa. No contact with Maggie and Mark. His mom thinks it was kind of my fault since I told Mark about her bombarding me with messages and calls, and family doesn't rat out to each other, and Mark and I are missing the amazing growing years of her baby and family functions. Mark reassured me that this is not the case and this needed to happen. He is just disappointed in his older sister. I know Mark loves his sister, but he doesn't want to keep being her doormat and feels it's time someone stands up about her behavior. So any advice would be appreciated, but I kind of feel this was my fault since I spoke out and kind of broke the camel's back. So am I the a-hole?
OP, you didn't go to Maggie and message her first. She messaged you trying to convince Mark to take this job.
Yeah, I feel like, Maggie was the instigator in every way.
Oh, absolutely.
And like to try to protect your peace after you had undergone surgery for your kidney surgery.
And you're in pain.
You only got 2 of those.
You can only sell one.
And you can only sell one. Yeah.
Liver, you can like splice it and it'll
That's
regrow.
true. And it'll
Yep.
regrow. So you can keep selling
Yep.
that.
But you only have 2.
You only have 2. But yeah, in conclusion, I do not think OP is the a-hole. You needed to create boundaries. I do think the boundary that was created was more aggressive than it needed to be placed. However, I do not fault OP or Mark for placing it aggressively because of how many times they were poked. As someone said, you poke the bear, you get the claws and
Yep.
the teeth and you get the whole bear. But we got another story for you. That's the end of that one.
We do.
Sam Chan said, what business are you in? Oh, just the liver business.
I just deliver business.
You know,
Fun.
Live, laugh, love.
I'm in the spleen business. My in-laws are furious over me canceling a babysitting appointment.
That seems like a thing you shouldn't be furious about.
My husband and I have 3 children. One of them has given us grandchildren, which is something I dreamed of and planned for years.
We love a grandbaby. We love them. We love them. We know how absolutely deliriously into grandbabies grandparents are. So let's see.
Our other 2 are childless, which is fine. They're happy. I read between the lines there. Successfully and have large networks of friends. We are proud of them all. By the way, this comes from Helpful Vast 88. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, our sister-in-law is very connected with his family. His family is a priority in his life. From the beginning, he attempted to integrate us into his family, which we politely declined.
What? Wait. Who integrated him into his family?
I guess I didn't really get... My
Wait,
husband and I
what?
have 3 children. One of them has given us grandchildren.
Wait, so OP was invited into one of their family's family and declined that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that not crazy? That feels a little... Wait, can you read that sentence again?
I'm kind of confused by who his is. Is it? Because OP goes like, our sister-in-law is very connected with his family. Who's his?
Husband.
Husband. Okay. So husband's family is a priority in his life. From the beginning, husband attempted to integrate us into his family, which we politely declined.
So the sister-in-law's husband.
Our sister-in-law's, I think it's either his sister or his like sibling's sister.
The son-in-law, I think.
Oh,
That's what Sweet Memories is saying.
son-in-law.
The son-in-law is trying to integrate
Oh.
OP into his family's life, and OP's like, nah,
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So it's one of OP's kids is married
Grandkids.
and
Okay.
his children, and so I think it's talking about OP's
I see now.
child's husband
Okay.
or partner. You know?
I'm going to read it back a little
OP's
bit.
child's husband is trying to integrate OP into his like larger family.
Okay.
It
and
seems yes.
And OP's like, nah, I'm chill.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. So doesn't want to be involved in his child's
Husband's-
in-laws
Yeah, yeah.
family.
That
I'm going to read it
feels-
back differently.
That feels like, I don't know. I don't like the energy of that.
I don't either. Okay, so our son-in-law is very connected with his family. His family is a priority in his life. From the beginning, he attempted to integrate us into his family, which we politely declined. We have our own traditions, hobbies, and interests, and our own family network. We did not see any reason to give that up and felt that we could coexist peacefully.
Doesn't feel like you're coexisting.
Also, I don't think you have to give up your family to participate sometimes in another person's. I don't know.
You give up a weekend probably.
Something feels weird, but maybe I'm wrong here, and please tell me. But something feels weird about this.
In the beginning, the holiday division, vacation times, birthdays, etc., we were challenging, but we, for the most part, overcame that with the time and patience. I should also mention that they live a few hours away, so some traveling is involved when we get to see them. On a couple occasions, our son-in-law became enraged with us over some rather trivial matters. It seems as if he wanted to become the leader in our family, as he seems to be in his, and model us after his family. We try to work things out, but the end result was more sweeping the problem under the rug than really resolving the issue. I think I'm getting a little bit more clarity here. Because he's like, hey, you should come do our thing. We should come do our thing. Don't have Thanksgiving over there. Have Thanksgiving with our family.
Right. He's trying to like basically be clan leader of these multiple families. Like
Yeah.
he's like the trying to be head honcho.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's getting the tribes together.
Yeah, because if you're the son-in-law, you're just like, oh, we're going to my wife's parents' house for, Christmas. It's like, no, I'm
Okay.
getting the wife's parents to come to my house for Christmas.
I guess because he's trying to like maybe he's trying. Yeah. I see maybe where the issue is a little bit more now.
Over the years, we have tried to help them out, helping them fence their yard, babysit, home repairs and remodeling, etc. We helped them move across the state from their college town into their first home. This will be important to know later. Once, when they had an emergency in his family, we dropped everything and took time off work using personal vacation time to ensure our grandchildren had care so their parents would not have to be concerned about them, but could focus on what they needed to. I will note that whenever we could use an extra pair of hands to help at times, they are never available due to work, their children's schedules, etc. Good thing he had 2 other kids that don't have children. A few years go by. My husband's health deteriorated and he was forced to retire. At the same time, one of our other children, who was working out of state, decided to sell her house in our city. Due to the lockdowns at the time, there was not much else to do. So we offered to empty her house so we would not have to travel back and forth to take care of it. We spent the entire summer and fall working on that house to get it ready to sell. It gave us something to do at the time when we badly needed a distraction. This also will become important later on. Okay, so it seems like they're putting a lot of time into this house and helping out their daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it the same daughter with the husband? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm like 100% there.
OP, names would help so
Yeah.
much in this.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm like
You're on
pretty
board?
pretty on board.
Okay, good. 9 months later, my husband suffered a silent stroke and was hospitalized. As a result, he was given a medication protocol, which caused some odd side effects. Then, the following year, he developed congestive heart failure and was again hospitalized and given more meds to add to his routine. About that time, our daughter's family found a larger home and a better school system. The move was a challenge from the beginning. Significant problems with their old home that had to be resolved before the sale. A vehicle they were counting on suddenly had to be replaced, which made money tight for them. They were under a tremendous amount of stress. They would call to ask for advice, but then reject our advice and make decisions that seem hastily and reckless. They gave us to come watch the kids during the move, so we agreed to do so. During the time leading up to the move date, things kept going wrong for them, which increased their stress. At the same time, my husband began acting more and more erratic. I'll cut to the chase here. He had stopped taking some of his medications, which he should have not done because he didn't like the way they made him feel. I didn't know this at the time, obviously. His behavior became so alarming that I grew concerned about our upcoming trip to see the grandkids. I was worried about how he would act while there, how the stress levels would impact him, if he would try to do something he physically should not attempt. I worried that his behavior might scare the grandkids. I worried that if he became really ill while out of town, how I would find help in a city that was so unfamiliar to us, with doctors unfamiliar with his situation.
Which is true. I mean, if you have like different doctors, they don't know the context. They might know the doctor's notes, but like only that doctor's like been inside you, you know?
Yeah.
Only that doctor's really known your body.
Knows the ins and outs.
Knows the ins and outs. Yeah. So I think I think it is important to make sure that the same doctor is looking at you.
This is pretty, life alarming kind of things you need to be aware of. So about 2 to 3 weeks out, when his behavior grew worse and the stress levels increased, I called our daughter and canceled our plans to babysit due to my husband's health. Seems reasonable, right? I explained the situation so they would understand the decision was not made lightly. They detonated. They called us out on social media for breaking a promise, posting cute photos of the baby, who we didn't want to watch, and begging for a stand-in. Our daughter called me and screamed at me over another problem they had with the move, blaming us for another problem that happened even though it happened before we could have been there anyways. The day of the move, everything that could have gone wrong did. I was glad we were not there because it was so intense and we felt so much of it could have been avoided. For months after the move, they refused to speak to us. We reached out from time to time. Finally, they agreed to a teleconference. We were subjected to a lecture about what uncaring grandparents we were, how we should want to spend time with their kids, how families should always be there for each other.
I mean, I do agree that there's like some level of participation that the grandparents should have, but I don't know. I understand like with all that's going on with the grandparents with like all these medical issues, like it might not be possible to.
Also, why would you want your kids to be watched by someone who's having like medical issues and it might not be that reliable?
Yeah, I think seems like the kids had a lot of expectations for the parents and they were not met, and now they're just like
Yeah, I feel, but I do feel like it just seems like there's resistance to just be involved in general, even if there wasn't these medical issues. Like they were resistant to be involved beforehand.
Yeah, they dredged up a painful time from my past and used it to taunt me. They accused us of breaking our promise to them. They cited the fact that we should help a sibling move, but weren't willing to do that for them. We had already helped them move once, remember? They felt we owed them since we helped a sibling. They feel certain that they will be the only ones to give us grandkids and that they deserve special consideration for that. Then they weaponize their kids against us, threatening to never let us see them again if this is how we were going to behave. In all fairness, I also said some things I should not have. I shared that I felt as if everything was designed to cater to his family, who, I will point out, did not help with the move. They had already made other plans for that weekend. I shared that I was pretty freaked out by my husband's behavior and what had happened. At no time did they express any concerns about his health.
I mean, it's a medical emergency. I feel like there should be some concern about health. Yeah,
no empathy at all on either sides. And two, wouldn't the parents have told these kids, hey, your dad's kind of going a little downhill. Yeah. He had a silent stroke. Like, wouldn't they see these updates?
You should give a little bit of a license, for that. You should give a little bit of space, which is not what is happening at all.
Yeah, no. They called back the next day to talk over a few things. They calmed down a bit by then and even offered a sorry. We didn't mean to hurt anyone apology. But then their husband insisted that we needed to show some respect to them if we expected them to respect us. That, plus the threat to not allow us to see the grandkids, made me feel that we would just be continuing the cycle of not resolving the real problem. At this point, I went low contact with him. you never should go low contact with us. So we have stories just like this all day long on your favorite podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime on Apple, Spotify, or iHeartRadio, and we'll have them there for you.
Amen, brother.
We have a little bit left. Basamo, any thoughts on this?
I mean, I think the grandparents aren't given enough space for these medical emergencies that they're experiencing, but I also still feel like there is some resistance, even before all this stuff happened, to be involved in this son-in-law's life.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm wondering, there's some kind of animosity that already existed before all this happened. So
I feel like if we were there and had dinner with them, with everyone,
yeah, we would know.
We would pick
what
up the
dynamic
vibe.
is. Yeah, I feel like I don't have enough understanding of the vibe. Chibi Lee says, kind of sounds like OP's family is being made the scapegoat of all their problems because of son-in-law. Kim Roberts says, my heart is breaking for OP.
Yeah.
And then Wrestling Mama says, why should they be concerned about his health? They need to help moving. Dad needs to get it together. And the audacity of dad to get sick when they need help moving.
Yeah.
Come
on.
I read that initially as like, what? Sarcasm from Wrestling Mama. Thank
I
you.
knew it was sarcasm, Wrestling Mama.
Yeah, I do think like I think the son-in-law is pressing way too much, but I do think there's some animosity that the grandparents already had before this. So I'm curious where that's coming
The
from.
part where she said, I said some things I shouldn't have said, but didn't say what she said, that rubbed me the wrong way. She like admitted she did something wrong, but then right back onto like what her daughter was doing wrong.
Yeah, but let's see how the rest of the story pans out.
It's been a couple of years since this happened. Wow. My husband, who feels differently than I do, has traveled to see them a few times. I believe this is a part of the problem, but he is entitled to his own opinion, and it has kept the lines of communication a bit open. During this time, my mother became very ill, and it became harder for me to travel in case she had an emergency. She passed away recently, and they did not express any sympathy or sense of loss for her. Not even a card or call. My husband's trips will become more difficult soon, as he had friends with family between here and there and was often able to catch a ride, so he didn't have to make the trip alone. They have since moved, so he will have to make future trips by himself unless I go along. Part of me would like to reach out again and offer an olive branch, but another part of me says they are not ready yet and to wait. Am I the a-hole for, I guess, waiting?
I don't know. There's like elements of the story where I feel like there might be a-holishness, but I don't think I have enough context on.
I think that it's interesting that OP's husband, who was kind of like the catalyst of them not, all these problems, because of it, not purposely, but because his medical problems, and he's still willing to go see them. So I'm wondering why they have differing opinions.
Yeah.
Even though, like, if anything, he was kind of more affected because he was experiencing the medical problem.
It feels like there's missing information here. But
Yeah.
I would love to know what you guys think. Often we're wrong, so just let us know what you guys think. My sister-in-law's toxicity made me want to ignore her.
Guess ignore then.
I, 24 female, and my husband, 23 male, do not get along with my older brother-in-law's wife at all. For the purpose of the story, I'll refer to the brother-in-law's wife as Kate. But it's a name change, obviously. For starters, when I met my husband, so a now husband, brother-in-law and Kate had already been dating for over a year. When I came along, my husband was dating someone else. So husband has an ex.
Ooh.
When he wasn't your husband, that no one really liked. This is relevant, I swear. We were all teenagers at the time, and this girl, husband's ex, was one of those overly clingy girls, and you could tell that this was her first real relationship. God forbid a girl love a first real relationship.
Illegal.
Yeah, illegal. When I came along, my husband was already trying to break up with her, but she was using the don't leave me or I'll hurt myself tactic again, which is nuts. Yeah, and she's a little nuts. Anyway, Kate really hated this girl, like screaming matches. So this is the brother-in-law's wife, hated husband's ex. When they are around each other, kind of mutual hate. By the way, this comes from Affectionate Puppers, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So once I started to get to know my husband, and at the time, this was not her husband, this was just some guy that was dating a girl, we started crushing on each other pretty hard, and our work messages turned more flirty, and his girlfriend actually messaged me to stop talking to him, which is ridiculous.
That is wild.
Ridiculous for a girlfriend to be like, stop talking to my boyfriend who's not your boyfriend. Stop flirting with him.
Yeah,
Get your
how
own.
dare she?
How dare she? Ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
I screenshotted the messages between my husband's ex and me, basically her being like, stop talking to my boyfriend, and sent it to my now husband and asked if I was crossing a line.
It's crazy that OP like said she was flirting and was like,
Am I crossing a line here?
Did OP really know about this girlfriend? Because the guy probably had it in his mind.
OP did know about the girlfriend because
Yeah, she texted her.
But the OP's like, oh, you're trying to break up with her, so this is fair game.
Well, she didn't know that at the time.
she didn't know that at the time. I think
I think that's messed up.
I think the beginning of this relationship, in Jem's words, outrageous. The beginning of this relationship is cursed.
But
Cursed.
also, don't let your girlfriend stop you from finding your wife.
I mean, that is something that Riley says, but I
live
still
by it.
think unethical. So apparently when he started to message me on his own and flirt more, he had already tried to dump her and she was hanging around anyway.
Dude, either do or don't do. There's no trying.
Yeah. You dump or you don't dump. There's no in between. Well, news got out that I was the reason their relationship ended. So the relationship between OP's husband and his ex. And Kate, brother-in-law's wife, used it as a chance to really get the girlfriend away. So this is like the ex. So
Also, why is Kate
So
involved here?
I don't know, but I feel like it's a red flag. It's a red flag. You know, if she's involved in breaking up this relationship, she might be involved in breaking up the next one.
Yeah.
You lose them how you lose the next one. And you get this one how you,
That's probably what's going to happen.
Kate invited the two of us out together to spend more time together. So now Kate's playing matchmaker between OP and OP's now husband. And really tell his ex that they were over. So I guess the ex still doesn't believe that it's over. Here's where the issue with me and Kate starts. And before we get into that, I would just like to say how messy all of this is.
Yeah.
This is so ridiculously messy.
Because you don't start talking to someone and flirting with them when they're already with someone, no matter if they're about to break up or haven't broken up. That they're still in a relationship.
Yeah. Nicole H says they were in high school. Sure. But now they're in a relationship that started from the cesspool that was this beginning. This is like so bad. But it wasn't until 2 weeks after my husband and I started dating and announced the news to everyone that she started to hate me. The ex.
Okay.
Or Kate, maybe. Maybe it's Kate. I'd learned later that I was supposed to get them to break up, not start dating my husband. So Kate was using OP as a pawn to break them up. Kate is evil.
You were only a pawn, not the queen, OP.
Because Kate wanted to set her sister up with him.
Oh, interesting.
Spoiler, I talked to the sister years later and she had no idea where this was coming from. She didn't even have a crush on my husband. From that moment on, she really laid it on thick, Kate did, how much she disliked me. Kate would mumble insults under my breath, tell my in-laws in private that I was a bad person, and tried to start a smear campaign against me so my husband would break up with me. It clearly didn't work.
I love that Kate didn't check with the sister. Hey, do you like this guy? It was, no, you're going to get with him.
I mean, Kate has her own plans.
Yeah.
Kate's going to make Kate's plans work regardless of how anyone else feels.
You're right. And if it doesn't work in that world, she'll probably go play she'll play
Second Life or something.
Yeah.
And make it work in that world. I actually was really bummed about all this because I didn't have a sister. I was looking forward to having a sisterly bond or relationship with Kate. And when that went the other direction, I went up to her in private at a family dinner and told her I was sorry if I had ever done anything to upset her, but that I really liked my husband and was hoping her and I could at least be friends.
Aww.
She stormed out after calling me a witch, and that made my in-laws really see her as someone different. Kate is pissed.
She's crazy too.
She's crazy. Kate broke up a relationship, which, didn't seem like it was great for OP's current husband. Used OP as a pawn, all to get OP's husband to date her sister.
So then,
next level crazy.
Conspiracy theory to add on to that. So then she could take over the family business with her family. Because if Kate is married to the brother-in-law, and then Kate's sister is married to the husband, and if let's say the brother-in-law and husband have a family business, they can take that over and make it theirs.
They can be the queens of the business. I mean, I think they're definitely trying to take over the family for sure. This is like old king vibes, This is how you unite kingdoms through marriage, bloodshed, and Machiavellian games. Well, I got closer to them this way, and they were amazing. So got closer to the
family
in-laws.
Okay.
And they were amazing to me, but iced her out, Kate that is, because of her actions from that day on. She's continued to get them to hate me behind my back, but they aren't falling for it anymore. The in-laws are seeing through Kate's BS. Instead, she went overboard and played a prank on my husband that backfired. I won't go into detail about the prank, but let's just say it didn't go as planned for anyone, and it involved him and his ex potentially doing something inappropriate that caused my husband to nearly be fired and charged if it wasn't proved to be wrong. What?
I can't even think of what that could have been.
I'm thinking like Kate said that him and his ex were boning at the workplace.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, those involved in said prank didn't fess up to it from how sour it went. By accident, one of the people involved let it slip to me that it was a prank and how Kate had been the mastermind behind it, of course. I told my husband right away as I thought he had the right to know. It didn't go anywhere from there, but he was extremely pissed. And what was left of his relationship with Kate crumbled, which honestly is good because Kate sounds absolutely crazy. She's trying to like control all of the relationships around her.
Yeah.
Also, I feel bad for the brother-in-law, the guy married to Kate. Like,
well,
what does he have to deal with?
A lot of people are saying they got to tie, because if husband was with his ex, his crazy ex, and then brother-in-law is with Kate, she's a little nutso. They probably like him a little
crazy.
A little crazy.
A little crazy.
Because you know what happens to the crazy.
You know, we know.
I personally do not know.
Girls.
Well, he was extremely pissed, and what was left of the relationship with Kate crumbled. Now he wanted nothing to do with her ever. I thought he told his parents to help clear his name, but when I made a joke a year later to him and his parents about her pranks never being funny and ended up worse, they asked me what I meant. At this point, Kate and brother-in-law were engaged, and when I told them about the prank and how it was all Kate's idea, they apparently told brother-in-law and asked him if he was seriously dating someone who did something so awful to not just a human being, but to his brother of all people.
So not only did OP break up a relationship, she broke up an engagement.
And you know this is how she was like, yeah, and just after the prank, and the parents were like, what? It's like, well, you know, when Kate did the prank, and they were like, what are you talking about?
And she let them figure it out?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't?
Oh.
You don't know?
You didn't hear about the prank? Okay, you
Yes.
didn't tell them?
Feels like a movie.
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like both OP and Kate are kind of playing the same game.
Yes.
I feel like they're two sides of the same coin on opposite ends.
Yeah.
Like they're like Dark Vader Yoda, except if both of them were evil.
Yes. It's like
Thank you, Sam, for immediately proving my point when to Reese's My Pieces.
What?
Reese's My Pieces says, thanks, guys. Happy to sit with you guys. Hope you don't mind a nerd at the cool table. And I said, we're all nerds here. And then you said, Yoda.
I was going to say Hitler and Stalin, like, fighting against each other.
Hey, you know, that one's better. That one's better than you. I like Hitler and Stalin better.
Oh!
Whoa.
Clip that.
Wait.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
please don't clip that. Please don't clip that.
This man is traveling a lot.
Bro.
Whatever that means.
I think that is a more apt metaphor than my Yoda Dark Vader. Wow. This caused a huge rift between brother-in-law and his family. After they were married, so they still got married,
Oh, no.
brother-in-law and Kate sort of dropped everyone, but that was fine with me and my husband, who saw her as the only evil and cruel one at this point.
Because you know brother-in-law doesn't see her as evil. She's like, oh, all these people, you're a victim. All these people are doing these bad things to you.
Yeah, I mean, brother-in-law is getting everything from Kate, you know? Also, Kim Fine said, and so that's who knocked Elon off his throne. Guys, please. Guys, please.
Yeah, the posters on Sam's wall, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Viva la Revolution, or I don't know, whatever.
Viva la Revolution!
You decide what revolution. But skipping ahead a few years, Kate only iced me out more and more. When she had a kid, she hated when their kid would talk to me or like being around me. I had always worked with kids, so I will brag about being good with small children and how they tend to like me, which pissed her off. When husband and I got married, she tried to play nicer, seeing I really wasn't going anywhere, but it didn't last long. The passive aggression and backhanded comments came back quickly.
I feel like they're both doing it to each other.
Guys, can we do a poll really quick? Do we think Kate and OP are playing the same games? Because it feels like they are.
They definitely are, and we're not getting any of the bad things.
Are they the same or are they different? Kate's the problem, both the problem.
Yeah, I like that.
The passive aggression and backhanded comments came back quickly. It wasn't until I got pregnant a couple months later after her announcement that she went off the rails. She started acting like she was helping me by telling me what I needed to be doing, what needed to be read or get, but I only smiled and told her I'd look into it. I mean, that feels like Kate's actually trying to help with baby stuff. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Kate's actually helping there. Or at least,
how is it being helped? It's like OP does something and is like, well, this would be actually harmful to the baby.
Yeah, that's true. It could be that, or it could just be like, hey, you should read this baby book that I was reading.
Yeah.
She hated I wasn't looking up to her and taking her advice as gold. Trigger warning for expecting mothers for what I'm about to say. When I wasn't taking her words seriously or treating her like a queen that knew more than me, as well as my pregnancy going smoother and having less issues, as well as having the gender she wanted, she flipped out.
As you can see, she's playing a little bit of games. Go back. Can you pull that up a little bit again, Sophia? She said, as my pregnancy was going smoother and having less issues. You didn't have to put that in there. Okay?
Yeah. She's like, my pregnancy is so much better than Kate's.
The gender she wanted.
And she felt it.
Did we say it? Did we get the gender? Yeah.
No.
Okay,
I don't
so
think we
she's
got the
like,
gender.
Kate, you wanted a boy.
Guess what I got?
A boy.
A boy. Ooh.
I'm so sorry. It's so sad that you weren't able to get a boy like
Get
me.
wrecked, Kate. Yeah, dude, they're playing the same games. They're
like,
playing
people
the
are saying
same
like
games.
Kate started it. I think probably yeah, but I feel like they're both matching energies.
Yeah. Kate started telling me horror birth stories about what could go wrong, how one of her friends nearly passed away, and warned me everything that could happen. I knew she was saying it to scare me, but I was freaked out a little. When I was about 7 months along, she started having bad issues and was telling me to look out for certain signs, and I told her I wasn't having any problems or serious symptoms like she was experiencing. With a bit of rage in her eyes, when we were alone in the same room, she told me to be careful because first-time pregnancies usually end in miscarriage or stillborn. Because I don't know what to expect, the chances were higher for me, and this really did it for me. I stood up. I told her to go F herself loud enough for everyone in the room to overhear and told my husband we were leaving. I cried so hard and booked an appointment for the next day to check on my baby because I was so scared. My husband told his parents what was said after, and I bawled my eyes out to him. I was born with the umbilical cord around my neck and passed away for 2 minutes, so I was already freaking the heck out.
Yeah, same.
You were born with your umbilical cord around your neck?
And I had something in my mouth where I didn't breathe for like the first few minutes of my life either. So like Loki shouldn't have been here. The doctor was spinning me around the room and like patting my back and all the things, like shaking me upside down. And then he went, there's something in my mouth. And I'm like, and I got the purple gun. And then I was a baby. Yeah.
That's crazy. Riley almost wasn't here.
I know. So like whenever people were like, I was born ready, me?
I was not born ready.
I was not born ready.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I know.
Little blue baby.
You did?
You talk about it all the time.
I do, yeah.
To say my in-laws were disgusted and pissed, she'd say that to me was an understatement. Everyone was sort of mad at her after that, and from then on, I didn't acknowledge Kate or care for her at all. My husband referred to Kate as that witch my brother married to our friends and family, and I'd correct him, telling him to be nice to his wife, but not anymore. Now I referred to her as such, and when talking about my baby, she was uncle's wife, never to be called aunt, as she does not deserve the title. Well, me ignoring her only made things worse as Kate started complaining about anything and everything people did for me. If my in-laws bought something for us, she'd complain that they were picking favorites. Already something she said about me and my husband being their favorites. So it wasn't new. If they asked me about our baby, she'd get mad. I dared to say I was looking forward to something or enjoying the princess treatment by my husband and my side of the family. Once I asked my husband to refill my drink, I was constantly thirsty while pregnant. I smiled at him and said, please, in the nicest way I could, since it was hot and I was already asking him for so much help, being as far along as I was. Instead of rolling his eyes, my husband kissed my head, then my belly, and said, yeah, what did you have in mind? Like I said, some serious princess treatment. It sounds like OP's getting the princess treatment, which is good. Then a few seconds later, brother-in-law walked in and she told him to get her more water. And he had some excuse about being in the middle of something. It was really awkward after that. More so, wait.
So OP asked for water, and then Kate
asked for water, and she's like, watch this. My husband can do it too. And she's like, water, please. And he's like,
Oh, I got a headache.
oh, yeah, sorry, babe. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Oh, no, this doesn't look good because, like, OP is getting everything easier. Pregnancy, the ginger she wanted,
Yeah.
princess treatment, and then poor Kate.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like OP lives for Kate's destruction.
OP's watching like,
Yeah. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
she's making faces like that to her in between, like, the family talking. She's like, and then kind of like.
and Kate's like,
goes
she
on.
did it. And OP's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
Also, it seems like everyone is saying Kate is the problem and not both of them. I don't know if I fully agree.
I think Kate is jealous, and this is all caused by her jealousy, but I think OP's like pushing her
OP's
buttons.
fueling
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. It was really awkward after that, more so since my husband took that time to walk back with a drink and say, here you go, love. Yikes. After the babies were born, there were some added complications with her birth, resulting in her baby being underweight, nothing dangerously of high concern, just not what parents want to hear. My baby, on the other hand, was in the high 80 percentiles, so they were pretty big, weighing and being only slightly taller than their cousin born a month earlier. I love all the comparison. When their oldest wanted to hold her baby, Kate told them, careful, your cousin is smaller, well, technically only younger, to make fun of my big baby. I only rolled my eyes, but my mother-in-law said something about my baby being happy and healthy, which pissed Kate off even more. By the way, if you don't want to piss us off more, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. There's another relevant update, but what do you think, Riley?
Since the beginning, Kate wanted to be where OP is. She wanted the family on her side. She wanted to be doing better than OP. But now the tables have turned.
Tables have turned.
And OP's in the office seat looking at whoever's in front of her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing, but I also feel like Kate and OP kind of have a little bit of match in energy. Kate is worse, to be clear, but I don't know.
Because-
Maybe I'm off base and tell me if I am. But
Well, no, you are on base because if it wasn't that, OP would be like, it's just kind of unfair. I want us to be like, be good together and things.
Yeah.
But she's doing little quippets of
Yeah,
like, my
OP's
baby's
like-
better.
OP's poking. But we got a little bit more to this story. So because Kate already hated me, because she never really made an effort with my husband and is now angry with my kid for existing, I don't acknowledge her. I don't say hi, I don't look in her direction, and completely ignore her when she's around. I say hi and talk to brother-in-law and their kids, but that is it. I no longer go out of my way to try to be nice to her or include her on anything. I wish things were different, and I know it would be easier on my in-laws if we did get along, but they understand and don't push it on me to make changes. They actually tell me that I don't owe her anything since I've tried to play nice for so long already. I feel bad sometimes as I know she doesn't have a lot of friends or support system like I do, but she brought that upon herself. I also really hope our relationship doesn't affect our kids one day, even though that's wishful thinking. As much as I know it's easier on everyone to keep playing along with the narrative, we at least can stand to be in the same room together. I can't bring myself to do it anymore. Not a smile, not a wave, not a head nod, nothing. Am I the a-hole? I think you're less an a-hole than Kate. But I think because you're doing little jabs, I think you are a little bit the a-hole.
And also, I think like OP's kind of like, this is pretty standard behavior from her the whole time. Like she flirts with someone's boyfriend, and then it's like,
Yeah.
what did
Literally
I do
from
that?
the beginning.
Me?
Like OP is not making great decisions.
No.
She kind of, and yes, I know they were in high school and whatever, but still, like, shows
that's
fairly
true. I did forget they were
flawed.
in high school, but like, still.
Still shows fairly flawed
Yeah.
character.
She's trying to make herself look like the angel, but we
Yeah.
see through that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I do think that's a good point because I did forget the ages.
Yes,
I
but
think
she does
right-
in writing it now. She doesn't like admit like, oh, I was young, I was dumb. Like that was like,
Well, I think she's still young and dumb. Like she's in her early 20s, like, or she's
yeah,
my
she's
age,
24. Yeah, she's an idiot. Absolutely, like anyone that age is an absolute imbecile.
I agree.
How dare you?
I'm there too.
Yeah, and that is where this story and episode ends. So, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.